Hello everyone. My name is Sophie and I need to tell you about the worst Christmas of my life. It's a story about family, trust, and how the people you love most can sometimes hurt you the deepest. This happened just last year, and it still hurts when I think about it. I am 24 years old. I work as a nurse at a hospital in another city, about 4 hours away from my hometown. I love my job. I help people every day. It makes me feel good. But being a nurse is hard work. The hours are long. The pay is okay but not great. I live in a small apartment by myself and I try to save money every month. I come from a big family. I have 2 older brothers, Mark and James. I have my parents who still live in our family home. And I have my grandmother, who everyone calls Grandma Rose. She is 82 years old. She is the sweetest person in the world. When I was a child, Grandma Rose took care of me every day after school. She made me cookies. She helped me with homework. She told me stories. She was like my second mother. My parents were always busy working, so Grandma Rose gave me the love and attention I needed. I love her more than anyone else in my family. She is my favorite person in the whole world. Last summer, something happened with my family. My brother Mark called me on the phone. His voice sounded worried. He told me that our parents were having serious money problems. They had debts. They owed money to the bank. They might lose the house. I was shocked. I didn't know about any of this. Mark said they needed $8,500 urgently. He said if they didn't pay this money, the bank would take their house. Our family home. The house where we all grew up. I felt scared and sad. I asked Mark why they didn't tell me earlier. He said they were embarrassed. They didn't want to worry me. But now the situation was desperate. They needed help immediately. I thought about it for a long time. $8,500 was a lot of money for me. It was almost all my savings. I had been saving this money for 2 years. I wanted to use it to go back to school. I wanted to study more and become a specialist nurse. This was my dream. But this was my family. They needed help. How could I say no? I talked to Mark again and told him I would help. I told him I would lend them the money. He sounded so relieved and happy. He thanked me many times. He said I was saving the family. He promised they would pay me back as soon as possible. Maybe in 6 months or 1 year. I said that was okay. Family is more important than money. I went to the bank the next day and transferred $8,500 to my father's account. It hurt to see my savings account become almost empty. But I told myself I was doing the right thing. I was helping my family in their time of need. After I sent the money, my parents called me. My mother was crying on the phone. She said thank you so many times. She said I was an angel. She said she didn't know what they would do without me. My father said he was proud of me. He said they would never forget this kindness. He promised to pay me back as soon as their situation got better. I felt good hearing their words. I felt like a good daughter. I felt like I had helped my family during a crisis. The months passed. I worked hard at the hospital. I picked up extra shifts to earn more money. I was trying to build my savings again. It was difficult, but I didn't complain. I kept thinking about how I had saved my parents' house. That made me feel happy. Then December came. Christmas was coming soon. I was excited. I hadn't seen my family since the summer. I missed them. I missed my parents, my brothers, and especially Grandma Rose. I called my mother and told her I would come home for Christmas. She sounded happy. She said everyone would be there. She said it would be a wonderful Christmas together. I bought presents for everyone. I drove 4 hours to my hometown on Christmas Eve. I was smiling the whole drive. I was thinking about Christmas dinner, about seeing everyone, about the warmth of family. When I arrived at my parents' house, something felt strange. There were no cars in the driveway. The house was dark. No lights. No Christmas decorations. That was weird. My family always decorated the house with many lights and a big tree. I parked my car and walked to the front door. I knocked. No answer. I knocked again. Still no answer. I tried to open the door. It was locked. I felt confused. Where was everyone? I called my mother's phone. No answer. I called my father. No answer. I called both my brothers. No answer. What was happening? Then I noticed a piece of paper on the door. It was taped there. I pulled it off and read it. The note was written in my mother's handwriting. This is what it said: "Dear Sophie, we are so sorry but we won't be home for Christmas this year. We decided to take a family cruise to the Caribbean. We all needed a vacation after such a stressful year. Thank you so much for the loan. It really helped us pay for this trip. We will be back after New Year. Merry Christmas. Love, Mom and Dad." I read the note 3 times. I couldn't believe it. I must be reading it wrong. But no. The words were clear. They used my money for a vacation. For a cruise. A family cruise. They told me they needed money to save the house. They said it was an emergency. They said the bank would take the house. But it was all a lie. They lied to me. They took my savings, my dreams, my future, and they spent it on a vacation. I felt like I couldn't breathe. My hands were shaking. I felt dizzy. $8,500. My 2 years of savings. Gone. Spent on a cruise to the Caribbean. And they didn't even invite me. They said family cruise but I wasn't included. I wasn't part of the family apparently. I was just the person they could trick into giving them money. I sat down on the front steps of the house. I started crying. I cried so hard. It was cold outside but I didn't care. My heart was broken. Not just because of the money, but because of the betrayal. My own parents lied to me. My brothers knew about it and didn't tell me. They all went on vacation with my money and left me alone at Christmas. How could they do this to me? I sat there for maybe 30 minutes, just crying in the cold. Then I remembered someone. Grandma Rose. She lived 10 minutes away in a small house. Maybe she was home. Maybe she didn't go on the cruise. Grandma Rose didn't like traveling. She always said she was too old for trips. I got in my car and drove to her house with tears still on my face. When I arrived, I saw a light in her window. Thank God. Someone was home. I knocked on her door. I heard her slow footsteps inside. She opened the door and her face lit up when she saw me. "Sophie. My darling girl," she said. Then she saw my face and her smile disappeared. "What's wrong? Why are you crying?" I couldn't speak. I just hugged her and cried more. She brought me inside. She sat me down on her sofa. She made me hot tea. She held my hand and waited for me to calm down. Finally, I told her everything. I told her about the loan. I told her about the lie. I told her about the note on the door. I told her about the cruise. Grandma Rose's face became very sad. She looked angry too, which was rare for her. "I didn't know about this," she said quietly. "They didn't tell me they were going on a cruise. They didn't tell me you gave them money. Oh Sophie, I'm so sorry." She hugged me again. "Those fools," she said. "Those selfish, stupid fools. How could they do this to you?" I asked her why she didn't go with them. She said they told her the cruise ship was not good for old people. They said she should stay home and rest. Now I understood. They didn't want her to come because she would have asked questions. She would have wanted to know where the money came from. She would have protected me. They knew that. So they left her behind too. "You can stay here with me," Grandma Rose said. "We'll have Christmas together. Just you and me." I nodded. I had nowhere else to go anyway. That night, I slept in Grandma Rose's guest room. I couldn't sleep much. I kept thinking about everything. I felt so stupid. How did I not see this coming? How did I trust them so easily? The next morning was Christmas Day. Grandma Rose woke me up with the smell of breakfast. She made pancakes and hot chocolate. She tried to make me smile. We ate together and she told me stories about when she was young. She showed me old photo albums. She tried to fill the house with warmth and love. In the afternoon, we watched Christmas movies together. She held my hand. "Sophie, listen to me," she said. "What they did was wrong. Very wrong. They betrayed your trust. They used your kindness. But you are not stupid for helping them. You are good. You have a good heart. Don't let their bad behavior change who you are. I cried again, but this time they were different tears. Grandma Rose always knew what to say. She always made me feel better. We spent the whole Christmas week together. We cooked together. We talked for hours. We played card games. She taught me how to knit. It wasn't the Christmas I expected, but it was special in its own way. Being with Grandma Rose reminded me what real love looks like. Real love doesn't lie. Real love doesn't use you. Real love doesn't leave you alone on Christmas. My family came back after New Year. My mother called me and acted like nothing was wrong. She talked about how wonderful the cruise was. The beaches, the food, the sunshine. She didn't apologize. She didn't even seem to feel guilty. I asked her about the money. I asked her when they would pay me back. She became quiet. Then she said, "Well, the cruise was expensive. We don't have extra money right now. Maybe next year." Next year. Maybe. I realized then that I would never see that money again. They never planned to pay me back. It was never a loan in their minds. It was a gift. A gift they demanded by lying to me. I told my mother I was very hurt. I told her what they did was wrong. She became defensive. She said I was being dramatic. She said family helps family. She said I should be happy I could help them have a nice vacation. She didn't understand at all. I stopped talking to my parents after that. I stopped calling them. I stopped visiting. My brothers tried to message me, but I ignored them. They were part of the lie too. They knew the truth and said nothing. Only Grandma Rose remained in my life. She is all I have left now. She calls me every week. She sends me letters. She tells me she loves me. Last month, something surprising happened. Grandma Rose sent me a check. It was for $8,500. Exactly what I lost. I called her immediately. "Grandma, I can't take this," I said. "This is too much money." She said firmly, "Yes you can. I have savings and I want you to have this. I want you to go back to school like you planned. I want you to follow your dreams. Don't let them steal your future." I cried on the phone. "I'll pay you back, I promised." She laughed. "No, Sophie. This is a gift. A real gift. From someone who really loves you." I took the money. I'm using it to study now. I'm working toward becoming a specialist nurse. My dream is alive again because of Grandma Rose. I learned hard lessons from that Christmas. I learned that family doesn't always mean loyalty. I learned that some people will use your love against you. I learned that blood relation doesn't guarantee good character. But I also learned that real love exists. Grandma Rose showed me that. She is my real family. She is all I need. Sometimes the family you choose is better than the family you're born with. Sometimes one person's love is worth more than 100 false promises. This Christmas, I'll spend it with Grandma Rose again. Just the two of us. And it will be perfect. Thank you for listening to my story.